Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second day of games here in the GGvision Liquid Colosseum, featuring our champion,
Liquid Jinro, Gladiator of the Week.
Here spawning, of course, as the red Terran in the lower right starting position off Tall Durham Altar. His opponent in the lower left 8 o'clock starting position is Incredible Power Recognition. That's what Google Translate has to say about him at the very least. I am not sure whether he is indeed a player for the pro team Incredible Miracle or just some other pro under a Smurfnick on the Korean ladder. However, you can be sure that he is indeed a very accomplished professional. I did not want to bother Jinro today with finding out exactly what his opponent was, since Jinro is indeed quite busy practicing for the new season of the GSL that starts this very week. That will be Jinro's return to triumph and full form, ladies and gentlemen, I have no doubt about it. And here in the GGvision Liquid Colosseum this week, he will, as our Gladiator, show us exactly what kind of stuff he's made of and why he's a member of the most accomplished foreign team out there, Liquid. Now placing a barracks here at his wall-in, so that will be quite safe and nice. Meanwhile, gateway going down, no gas yet, and scouting probe out for Incredible, as I will refer to him in this cast. Last game we saw Jinro fight a Zerg player, Shoki OMG, also Koreans. There will be exclusively Koreans in this week's games featuring Jinro. He was a Zerg player on Selnaga Caverns, and that ended in a base race situation that I have never seen before, and it was indeed beyond epic, and it was uncertain who the winner would be up until the very end. I do recommend you check it out. Meanwhile, gas now finished for Incredible, and we'll just have to see what comes out of this gateway. Whether he'll go for immediate cybernetics core. Meanwhile, they are now both scouting each other, Incredible being somewhat ahead of that. Now we see a Marine being out, and that should be able to ward away the scouting probe quite soon indeed. Jinro is saving up his money, so he will be placing a very quick command center, and this probe won't be able to do anything about it. There it goes. So Jinro will take a quick economic lead, and we see that Incredible, having placed the second gas, has chosen to not build a Zealot out of his gateway. Instead, he's waiting for his cybernetics core to finish. So this will be either a Stalker or Sentry first. Sentry would be the more defensive and late game oriented one, as you want many early sentries out quickly in order to build up their energy, but never mind that. A Stalker will not only be built, it will be chrono boosted. So Incredible, he wants some early blood, he wants some early ability to pressure, to poke some holes, maybe even take a kill. But we'll just have to see if he can accomplish that. Jinro will have quite a few Marines out and should be able to ward away at least the first Stalker. Meanwhile, he's going for double barracks, no gases yet, so a very heavy infantry focused opening. There we see one gas go down, quite unlike last game where we saw mass Hellions. There we see second gas being deployed against his Zerg opponent. And before this game really catches on, we see now first Stalker out. We'll be able to poke a few holes, but the Marines should be able to ward it away quite nicely. These casts are all selected exclusively by Team Liquid Pro for you guys. You have not seen these games streamed, commentated, or available anywhere else. This Stalker might get a kill if he insists, but Jinro is indeed safe for the moment, constructing a bunker. They have all been picked based entirely on how awesome they are, and they are not played in a chronological order or have any actual link between each other. They are simply games that are well worth watching, that you would not see otherwise. And Nexus now going down here for Incredible, wanted to catch up with Jinro and his early economic advances. Two Stalkers now out, and we see Stimpack upgrade as well as Warp Gates being deployed for Jinro. Rather Incredible. And we'll just have to see exactly what the follow-up will be. Two more gateways are being constructed, and this looks like a free gate to me indeed. We'll see if a robo or a fourth gate will join the fray very soon. The Nexus being 60% finished, and Jinro is quickly saturating his base. Indeed, a robotic facility going down, a free gate robo it is. Looking quickly at the income tab, we see 26-26, very even in Harvester, so with mules, that puts Jinro at an early lead. Tech Lab and Tech Lab going down, so quite many Marauders, and that will definitely be worthwhile if we see many Colossus or anything like that. Frigate Robo, as mentioned, and chrono boosting away on these probes. We do see that Incredible now wants to truly pick up the speed when it comes to economy. Concussive shells being researched, so indeed the Marine Marauder infantry focused build it is, which is quite refreshing, as we saw Jinro do a full out mech build last game, proving his versatility and the fact that mech may not be the way to go against Protoss in this current stage of the metagame. But the Terran matchup is truly one that has, never mind that, ladies and gentlemen, we see a very quick Ghost Academy going up. This is exciting news, because Ghosts, and in general, caster units such as Infestors, we have seen being more and more integrated into sustainable standard builds. They are no longer gimmicky things to be had in the background or for all-in strategies. We see how aggressive Infestor usage, where mass Infestors being part of the core build of army compositions, have been used very successfully by Zerg players. Liquid HayprO did that so well in the first GGvision Liquid Colosseum series 2 weeks ago. Now we see armor upgrade first for a Protoss player, quite interesting. And seeing caster units such as Ghosts, and indeed I hope to see the Ravens, that is very interesting. It shows how players are progressing and learning how to advance and nuance their builds. We see Twilight Council going down for a Protoss player, Incredible, and he's now turned his focus to sentry units rather, so many force fields it will be. And armor upgrade first, again, that's interesting. He will be able to negate a lot of the high DPS from these stimped Marines and Marauders. And if Jinro is on the ball, he will be able to catch this Observe. It seems like he might have missed it here now. Preemptive force fields here going down will be able to ward away these units for the moment. But we also saw how the Ghost managed to land one EMP. But it seems like Incredible does not want to fight right now. 2 more cannons are now warped in, and Jinro might be well advised to not attack into this. But Jinro is an accomplished pro and he knows what he's doing. Seems like he wants blood. He has quite a few ghosts in these armies. And now we see a quick EMP going down, but also 2 force fields. And it seems like he might be able to trap quite a few Jinro's units, even though the sentries are going down very quickly as well. These ghosts, they do a lot of damage on their own, but they're of course very expensive and fragile. It seems like Jinro is losing this battle, ladies and gentlemen, but since Incredible had to pull probes and Jinro escapes with at least a few units, we could say that it was a fairly even exchange. Looking at the units lost tab, we see that indeed Jinro is leading by quite a lot, so I'd say quite successful for a Swedish semi-Korean Terran player here. Looking quickly at the base, we see a fully saturated natural and quite a few barracks, starport and factory now going down, transitioning into the late game, and have not yet researched much from his Ghost Academy, going for infantry weapons upgrades, and will be able to have medivacs out soon. Seems like he's now breaking down these rocks to take his second expansion and making sure that the Protoss players has not done the same yet, though they will, so they are quite even in timing for economy indeed. Now we see further upgrades here. Templar Archives researching Psystorm. Zealot leg speed. I do like Zealot leg speed. We don't see that enough. And quite interesting, armor upgrade level 2 before weapons. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something that I find quite peculiar. But I do like it. This will effectively negate a lot of the high DPS from this infantry army, and even though he will be inflicting less damage himself, this is quite an interesting way to go, especially if you're going for a gateway unit heavy composition as such. Meanwhile, now see more engineering base going up, as well as an armory, and no nukes or anything exciting from Jinro as of yet out of that Ghost Academy. Looking quickly at the unit tab, we see 1 ghost, so hope to see more of those. 3 Templars, 4 sentries, 2 stalkers and 10 zealots. I do like when we see zealot leg speed being deployed this early in the game, only in the 13th minute, and it really makes the Protoss player so much more mobile. Sure, blink stalkers, they are all good and well, and they can truly turn the tide of battle, but in a battle, you do want the hammer, that is quick zealots just marching in and quickly closing the distance. The good Protoss players sell at leg speed, that's the way to go. Seems, however, that Incredible wants Archons and many Templars in this composition. That's of course very nice to have against such a squishy bunch of targets as a Terran infantry force. Jinro now having an almost fully saturated third base and is well ahead of his Protoss opponent in economy thereby. Now we see weapons level 2, armor level 1, and only now weapons level 1 for a Protoss player. So Jinro now moving out, having a few medivacs in his composition now, and as of yet have not upgraded cloak or anything at his Ghost Academy. 4 barracks make that 5 and 1 starport as of yet, and it seems like that factory was perhaps only used in order to get that starport, so we'll see a pure infantry army from Jinro, which again is quite exciting as now he has gone up with ghost production again. But never mind that, ladies and gentlemen, this is a double drop, almost full with Marines and Marauders, and this could prove very fatal for our Protoss player indeed. He's got all his units up here, and given the map structure of Tal'Darim Altar, Jinro has 2 targets within walking, flying distance from each other. So whereas he is now taking full map control and scouting all around the map, these 2 medivacs could truly put a lot of hurt onto his Protoss opponent. We now see Jinro scouting all the way over, and at the same time Incredible is moving out, and that is all it took for Jinro to start his launch. You will be able to follow what happens on the other base in the picture-in-picture window as we see now Jinro crashing in, unleashing quite a few Marines and Marauders, and then one Psystorm eradicating the medivac in seconds. It's got 3 Marauders left, and that's not too much at all. So here on in the main base, not too much damage inflicted, but now we see the second medivac returning with its forces, and it seems like he's out of Psystorm and will be able to take down these zealots, or rather just pick them up again and move back. This is perhaps not too much damage inflicted, but it's definitely prohibiting the Protoss player to be as aggressive as he would have liked. Now warping in reinforcements, and it's safe to say that this attack is now negated. But I do like this kind of shenanigans. It's what keeps an opponent on their toes, prevents them from spreading like the plague the way they want to. 4th base now being planted for Jinro up here in the 230-ish location, and now scouting away, killing perhaps Dark Templars or an Observer. We saw a Dark Shrine go down earlier for Incredible, and now EMPing those Dark Templars out of the way, and EMPing all of the Protoss army. Sure, those ghosts died in instants, but they did so honorably. This Protoss player is now entirely without shields almost, it seems like, and it forces him to retreat. This Archon will go down, and that's a very expensive unit to lose indeed. And Jinro having a positional advantage and even more EMPs will be able to win this battle quite convincingly, and still has a few ghosts left. And I must say that Jinro is taking a commanding position. Looking quickly at the income tab, we see that they are dead even in harvesters, and actually the Protoss player is ahead in both mineral and gas intake. Not by much, but still. We see in Jinro now going ahead with his upgrades, getting weapons level 3, and meanwhile the Protoss player is getting armor level 3, so he will make sure to be even. Never mind that, ladies and gentlemen, this expansion is under attack and it might go down. The Jinro is retreating, he will lose all his units otherwise, and the Nexus might still have stood. Losing a few precious ghosts though, and that's never a good thing. There are no Templars in the fray, and just look at how Zealot heavy this army is. Now you have to concede that had he had Blink Stalkers, he would have been able to close the distance much faster, especially with these Marauders with concussive shells being able to slow down the Zealots. It seems like they are picking away at each other, and that Jinro is forced to retreat all the way back to his base. But considering how low on shields many of these units are, I would definitely, yes, recommend Incredible to move back. Continuing with the Ghost production, and here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, a second Ghost Academy. I saw that on the production tab earlier, and here we have it, a nuke. Ladies and gentlemen, there are only two reasons why you want more than one Ghost Academy. One is you want nukes, the second one is you want even more nukes. Now going for the energy upgrade, and we will at least be seeing one nuke in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, this is quite exciting indeed, because we have seen nukes being used by Terran players many times before. Jinro's teammate Liquid TLO is of course one of the first proponents of aggressive tactical usage of nukes, not as gimmicks but as a truly versatile way of boosting your army composition. But that was mainly in Terran versus Terran, when you can force an opponent to unsiege and lose position by nuking their front. In Terran versus Protoss, I have yet to see nukes being used in a way that is, well, truly functional, that is truly integrated into one's build. We'll see if Jinro has succeeded to do just that. Now we see EMPs crashing, Guardian Shields going up, and there's so much mayhem, so much blood. These are very many Zealots, and I'm not sure Jinro has the answer. He's got more Zealots than Jinro's got Marines, so this could prove very, very catastrophical. We see now Colossus on the way, first one out, and the thermal lands being upgraded. Jinro now having saturated his fourth base almost, and the Protoss player is now the one with map control. Jinro continues to scout around to try to prevent any further bases from going up, and we have seen yet another drop here, as you could follow in the picture-in-picture screen. Jinro now running low on money in both his main and natural, and is not quite max, 174 versus the 197 of his Protoss opponent, and no dice there. We'll just have to see what happens next, ladies and gentlemen. We now have weapons level 3 almost finished for our Protoss player, and this is indeed a menacing death ball. 3 Archons, more Zealots than I can count, and 1 Colossus with quite a few Templars in the mix, and here they clash again. Stim going down, the Colossus dying in instants. Seems like one way to killing them is just by focus firing them, and in moments it seems like Incredible has lost his favorable position and Jinro has retaken his. Meanwhile, we see storms going down, and I'm sure that nuke will present itself soon enough. Meanwhile, double expanding does the Protoss player. Jinro patrolling up here knows about it, and he might be able to inflict some damage. This planetary fortress will take care of any shenanigans, and a second command center being constructed here. Meanwhile, further battles going down, and the war of positioning continued on both sides. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of hurt is being dished out, and I've yet to see exactly what Jinro will do to counteract this. He is winning as much ground as he is losing, and it seems like no one has found the upper edge as of yet. Looking at the ghost count, we now have 9 of them, however, and 1 nuke still in that Ghost Academy waiting to be deployed. I'm sure we will very soon see that happen. But 9 ghosts can only mean one thing, that you want a lot of hurt to rain down on your opponent. This Marauder will be taken out, but Jinro might be sending an expeditionary force to deal with it. And what do we have here? A lone mule being sent out to scout. I wonder if this is a precursor to something more interesting. Here we see 1 ghost going down, and indeed, this could be exactly what we want to happen, ladies and gentlemen, especially as the forces of Incredible is moving out in precisely the wrong moment. And what do we have down here, ladies and gentlemen? Ghosts being stemmed, rather not stemmed, being cloaked. Meanwhile, we see the nuke about to embark. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very exciting. This is exactly what we want to see. Kaboom! Meanwhile, over here we see Jinro actually winning the battle and now obliterating the Protoss force once and for all. Those ghosts, they can truly make a lot of difference in battles as well. As long as they don't get slaughtered in the front, they do a lot of damage. They are upgraded as well, and that of course is 26 damage versus lightly armored units. Meanwhile, we saw Jinro take down this expansion and will be deploying a new one of his own over here. Very interesting indeed, and we see a second nuke now going down. This won't kill the Nexus, but it seems like Incredible is not aware and he will lose all his probes. Ladies and gentlemen, that is indeed glorious to behold, and that is a GG from Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen Jinro beat a Protoss player in a very, very commanding fashion, in a way that we all wish we could do ourselves, using nukes tactically and, more importantly, ghosts as a genuine part of your unit composition. They can snipe Templars, they can EMP forces, they can thereby reveal Dark Templars. They are very versatile indeed, and they can be the thing that tips it over the edge for a Terran player that goes full out infantry. This was a beautiful exhibition of skill in the GGvision Liquid Colosseum, so do stay tuned for day 3 coming up right now. Thank you so much for watching. I am Sebastian Sjoberg, casting for GGvision.tv. GG and out.